What's good? It's Jordan. Today I'll be talking to you about genuine people are hard to find these days. See, on this path and this journey, we have to understand that when we're dealing with people within society, that everybody that you're dealing with isn't going to be coming from a genuine standpoint or a genuine place. We have to understand this early so we don't hurt ourselves. Many times we hurt ourselves thinking that people are different, thinking that people will have our best interests at heart, and thinking that people will be there for us. But what we have to understand is when we're self reliant, it's far much more better than being reliant on somebody who does not have your genuine intention at heart. Many times we try to develop relationships with people due to the fact of the matter of those people may have the same trauma as us. Those people may have the same experiences as us. But we have to understand that everybody that comes into our life isn't going to deal with us from the same genuine standpoint that we may deal with them. We have to understand this early because when tough situations occur, then you start to realize who is your true friends and who is not your true friends. When we understand these things early, we avoid the hurt that comes with it. When we continue to ignore the signs and red flags of dealing with people who are not supposed to be in our lives, then we suffer. We have to understand that hurt people, and somebody who is hurt will not be able to develop positive relationships with anybody. They may try to cope and they may try to act and they may try to fill voids within themselves, but really and truly, it never works. We have to understand healing. We have to understand how to navigate this life in a way that is more mature. And we also have to understand the importance of loving self and the importance of understanding ourselves. When we have an identity that is built on validation from other people, we will never know who we are. And many people walk in society building this identity off of validation from other people. They may take compliments to heart. They may feel like everybody that's around them really cares for them and really loves them. But in reality, that isn't true. We have to understand that when we walk in society, there's going to be people who love us, there's going to be people who hate us. And what we can do about that is just live life. When we try to please everybody, we only hurt ourselves, especially pleasing those people who are not meant to be in our lives. We have to understand this early because when we start surrounding ourselves with people that are not meant to be in our lives early, then we can ruin and destroy the actual relationships in our lives that are actually going to foster on its own. So we have to understand that when we lose people from our lives, it's not necessarily a bad thing. We have to understand that the transition point from that is to help us grow. Many people in society stay around people who are not meant to be in their lives, not meant to help them, not meant to encourage them and help them grow, due to the fact of the matter of them being afraid of being alone, and due to the fact of the matter of them being afraid to surround themselves around genuine people. We have to understand that some people do not know what it is to be genuine. They might have grown up in survival mode, so they don't know how to foster and develop positive relationships. Every relationship that they may have may just be due to circumstances and trying to gain from the person that they're dealing with. And we have to understand that transactional relationships are not helpful. Many people walk among society with this mind frame and mindset. And really and truly, you never develop any positive relationships doing that. You also never develop any positive relationships being a negative person, being around negative people, saying and doing negative things. If the only way that you can develop relationships is being negative, then what we have to understand is you'll just go among society doing negative things. And when you constantly live that way, it catches up with you. It might not be right now, but in the future, it definitely will catch up with you. So we have to understand what we want out of our own lives. We have to understand what we want within ourselves, internally and externally, because people go through life having a mask on. And when you have a mask on constantly, you cannot maintain that mask. The only thing that we have to understand that's important is us being authentic. And if you're authentic and people don't like you for being authentic, then so be it. What can you really do? Those are not the people that are meant to be around in your life. When you continue and embark on this path and this journey, you'll start to realize that people are either going to love you or hate you, and you cannot do nothing about it. But what you do within yourself and towards yourself is far much more important than anything else. Do you love yourself? Do you care about yourself? Do you care about your own opinions? That's all that really matters, because at the end of the day, you have yourself in this life to worry about. And when you start to care about yourself, you start to see that there's going to be many people who care about you, many people who want to see you do good, many people who want to see you get far. Those people who don't care about your life, don't care about you, try to use you and abuse you and use your kindness for weakness, leave those people alone. They will learn their lesson on their own. But as for your own life and for what you're doing in your life, understand that when you start to move into towards the positive direction that you're supposed to be, blessings will occur. We have to understand that we will have struggles. We will have times where we have failed. There's going to be times where we don't understand what's going on. And those are just seasons. But if we understand and focus on ourselves and focus on redirecting our minds and understanding the importance of redirecting our minds and the importance of ourselves, then we will be placed in the positive direction that we're supposed to move forward. And the thing is, what you'll see is when you start to remove negative people from your life, you're going to start to see there's so many various different positive people out there, and people who genuinely care and people who genuinely want to be around like-minded individuals. And when you start to see that, you'll start to see that the life that you're living in the past wasn't the life that was meant for you. And you'll also start to see that within society that there's going to be positive and negative people. And what you can do within your own life, if you want to make the changes, just be around positive people. And we also have to understand too that awareness comes into play. When you start to be around positive people, you start to be very aware of your surroundings and who you want to be around. And the minute you start to see that somebody is negative, I know for me, I don't want to deal with that person. Of course, we have points within our lives where we may feel negative, and those are seasons within itself. But just somebody who's constantly negative, somebody who's just constantly complaining, somebody who constantly has a problem with every and anything, that is draining and that's taxing. You cannot be an individual that is constantly complaining, constantly upset, constantly in a negative mind frame. You will not produce any positive qualities from that. And I've learned that, and I realize that. And whenever I feel negative, I, for the most part, isolate myself from other individuals and just reconnect with myself on a deeper level whenever I feel like that. Because I know for a fact if I'm around other people and I'm negative, it's not really going to help anybody. It's not even going to help myself. So, how I look at the world is you can either decide to live in a positive mind frame or a negative mind frame. And it's important that you understand that. It's important that you know and understand that there's going to be some good days and some bad days. So, it's best that we be real with ourselves and we be genuine with ourselves first. And those who are meant to be a part of our lives will be a part of our lives. And we also have to understand as well, too, that other people can see the mask that you may try to portray. And it's best that you be real with yourself with everything that you do and how you are as a person, because others can see that before you can. So, today, I want to leave this scripture with you, and I hope that the scripture can help you on your path, your mission, and your journey. Second Timothy 3, 1 to 5. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. Avoid such people. So, in this life, just understand that with everything and anything that you do, be genuine, because what you get is what you put out into this life. There's going to be people who are going to be negative. There's going to be people who are going to be hurtful. Avoid such people. Know what you want out of this life. Know that your life is important. Know that you have the ability to set boundaries within your life whenever you feel like you are overwhelmed with things, and understand the importance of your life, because we all have a life and we all have the ability to understand the importance of our lives on this journey today. I want to thank you for watching. Peace.